we're going to start in Supta Baddha Konasana, which is the pose where you lie back with the soles of your feet together. Now you can choose to have whatever props are available for you. If you want to have a blanket folded lengthways under your back, if you'd like to use a bolster to lie back on. If you've got sock balls, Jane, you can use those under the butt. You can use any support cushions, whatever you need to, underneath the outside of the thighs. Make sure that your head is well supported so that you're not tilting your chin up towards the ceiling and coming onto the top of your head. You want to have the back of your head resting comfortably on the earth. Let the arms relax beside you. Palms face up for the shoulder rotation, or palms face down if you want to invite the energy of the earth in. Let the eyes fall closed. And take some deep, slow breaths. Feel the breath moving from the tips of the nostrils all the way down to the belly. Let the heads of your shoulders relax. And systematically scan through your body, finding any place where you're holding tension, where you're gripping, and see how much of this you're able to let go. Full release isn't always possible, so don't berate yourself. There's no judgment here. Just notice where you may be holding, see what you're able to let go of, and sink into it. Once you've finished working your way through your body, bring your focus back to your breathing. Observe the cadence of your breath. Encourage your breath to be as deep as you comfortably can make it. Not forcing or straining, but inviting that lovely deep breath in. Encouraging the diaphragm to contract downward, changing the shape of the organs in the belly and letting the belly lift upward on your in-breath. And release a little bit further with each out-breath. Take your mind on another journey through your body, watching to see what may have changed, perhaps areas that you didn't notice you were holding tension. Let go a little bit as we're staying in stillness. Start to think about the finer details of the body. Take your attention to the region around the shoulder blade. How is this space feeling for you? How does the right side compare to the left side? Often we hold more tension on one side of our body. It's perhaps the more active side or the dominant side. Are there any small adjustments you need to make? Anything that needs to happen to let yourself be able to drop into the balance of the left and the right? A couple of deeper, slower breaths. Or bring your attention back to your breath for a few cycles. Feel the whole of the torso expanding as you breathe in, not just the front of the body, but the side and the back of the body as well. As you next exhale, we're going to carefully begin to bring the knees together. If you've got balls under your buttocks, you might like to roll. How rude does that sound? Sock balls from side to side a little bit. Just to roll out the space. And then moving them out of the way if you're using them. Roll to one side, reach back and take any other props that you may have in place out of the way. And then return to your back. Hug your knees into your chest and rock a little from side to side. Feel the length of the spine on the floor. The parts of the spine that naturally lift away, like the lumbar spine and the back of the neck. And those that are quite solidly connected to the earth. Take your right foot and return it to the floor and keep the left knee hugged in and begin to circle the left foot. Making circles with the ankle, continuing to circle in one direction for a few more rounds or until any clicking eases. And then change and circle the other way. Coming to stillness with that ankle. Place your left hand on your left knee and the right hand is resting on the right hip or out on the floor beside you. And then begin to circle your left knee. Let the circles be relatively small to begin with. We're trying to get into the coxal joint. So it's not about the knee, although the knee is the thing that's moving. It's about finding that range of motion through your hip. Circling in one direction, and then pause and change and circle the other way. And then coming to stillness, interlock your hands behind your thigh and reach your left foot up towards the ceiling. Make sure that you can relax your shoulders and that you're not taking lots of tension through the shoulders when you're doing this. It might be that you need to hold lower down, or maybe you just relax the arms and keep the leg in the air by itself. If it's quite comfortable and you've got a fairly open hamstring, you can stretch your right leg out along the floor. Pull the toes of your foot downward, pushing the heel upward. Send your breath into the back of the left leg. And as you exhale, we're going to come into a supine twist, keeping both our legs straight. So if your right leg is still bent, straighten it now. And then begin to bring your left leg all the way across your body to the right hand side, letting the foot touch down on the floor. If it's not comfortable all the way to the floor, you can pop something underneath it, like a pillow or a blanket or a cushion. Open your arms either out to either side, or the right hand might want to stay resting on the outside of the thigh. When you rest your hand on that part of the leg, you'll feel that there's increased sensation around the outer hip and sacrum region of the left leg. Find a neutral place for your head, or if you want to increase the intensity, you can turn to look along your left arm, which makes the cervical spine, the neck, get more involved. Otherwise, keep yourself facing up towards the ceiling, or to be really neutral, look towards the right side. So find that place that's right for you, and let yourself sink in. Let the legs relax a little bit so they take a slight bend if they need to. There's no need to keep them ramrod straight. As you next exhale, we're going to make our way onto our back again, bringing that knee into your chest, bringing the right knee up to meet it, hanging both the knees, rocking a little, readjusting yourself on your mat if you need to. We're going to do those poses on the other side. You take the left foot to the floor, keep the right knee tucked in, and begin to circle your right ankle. And then change direction, circling the other way. Coming to stillness with your foot. Either rest your left hand out to the side or onto the left hip, right hand to the right knee. Let that hand help guide the knee into a circular motion. So we're getting into our coxal joint, our hip space. On the right hand side now. Pause and change direction, circling the knee the other way. Coming to stillness, interlock the fingers behind the thigh and stretch the right foot up towards the ceiling. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed. And there's no strain in the neck. You can always not hold that leg and just leave it hanging in the air. Sometimes it's nice to have something to resist against. Pulling the toes down, pushing the heel up. If your hamstrings are open enough, you can stretch your left leg along the floor. Otherwise, if it creates too much tension, keep that left knee bent. Send your attention into the back of the right leg. Whether it's the hamstring or the calf that is the tightest for you. As you next exhale, we're going to come into that supine twist, bringing the right leg all the way across the body, straightening the left leg down along the floor if you haven't done so already, and opening the arms either out to either side, or the left hand is resting on the outer thigh. Just helps to give the leg some stability, a reference point, helps to keep it in place without having to work the leg too much. Choosing a position for your head. You want to work the neck more, have your head turned towards the right hand. Neutral, looking up at the ceiling. Quite passive, looking towards the left. Whenever you notice that you've lost touch with your breathing, bring your focus back to the inhale and the exhale. Next, breathe out. Gently begin to return to your back, bringing the right knee into your chest, left knee meeting it. Hug them both in. Take the feet to the floor for a moment. And bring your hands onto your belly. Feel what's going on in the belly. And bring the legs, the feet up so that you are making a 90-degree angle behind your knees. The thighs are perpendicular to the floor and the shins are parallel to the floor. Notice how this switches your belly on. See if you can pull your abdominal muscles into your body a little bit so they're not pushing up into the hand, but you can feel that you're recruiting them. And then as you exhale, stretch one leg away from you, touching the toe or the heel towards the floor, and then bringing it back to that bent position. Taking the other leg away, touching down, and bringing it back. You might not want to go so far that you touch the floor. Make it very dependent on what's going through your belly. As soon as the abdominals start lifting too far up into the hands, that's probably the sign that you've gone far enough. One more time to each side. And then we're going to start some alternative leg and arm movements. So when the right leg straightens towards the floor, the left leg goes overhead. And then bring them both back in. Left leg straightening towards the floor, right arm overhead. And bringing them back. Keep that action going. When you include your arms, it does make it more intense. So you might find you don't go as far with the arm and the leg as what you were doing when it was just the leg moving. A couple more times to each side in your own time. Feeling what's going on through the belly, and maybe noticing the hip flexors as well. Could be the front of the thighs or your psoas muscle that you're really feeling this exercise in. Often the psoas takes over when the stomach muscles aren't perhaps being recruited as they could. Taking your feet down to the floor, let your arms rest on either side of you. We're going to lift up into low bridge, giving some opening through the front of the thigh. On an inhale, lift yourself up. On an exhale, lower down. If you want to get the arms involved, inhale, lift the hips and take the arms overhead. Exhale, release down. Keep the action going, whether you've got the arms working or not. Utilize your breath to set the rhythm. Your long inhalation lifts you up. Your smooth exhalation lowers you down. Continuing a couple more times. And then this next time that you lift up, keep your arms down beside you. Walk your shoulders under a little bit, and if you can, interlock your hands behind your back with the arms resting along the floor. Otherwise, you can keep your hands apart if that's too strong for your shoulders. Pushing into the feet, feeling the buttocks and the thighs active. Each time you breathe in, the upper chest moving towards the chin. Taking a couple more breaths here. This is a surprisingly strong pose. So if you need to come down early, do so. Otherwise, just one more breath in and out. And then releasing the hands, gently replacing the spine on the floor. And bringing the knees in towards your chest. Rocking from side to side. Returning the feet to the floor, we're going to cross the left ankle over the right, coming into eye of the needle. The ankle bone is just across the other side of the thigh, or you could have it resting on the thigh if you haven't got as bony an ankle bone as I have. Let the left knee drop away from you. You can even use your hand to place a little bit of traction on the inner thigh to get that action moving. And notice what you feel in your hip. What we're aiming for is sensation in the left hip, right and deep to that hip. Have the left foot flexed. But in this way, we're protecting our left knee. Once you feel comfortable with this pose, there's a couple of different ways that we can work. If you want to simply do some arm and shoulder work, you can inhale the arms overhead and exhale, release them. If you've got enough going on in your hips here. If there's not that much going on for you in your hips, then interlock the hands behind your thigh, bringing the right foot off the floor. But you want to make sure that you're keeping that left knee away from the left shoulder. If you end up with the knee all the way up to your head, you probably shouldn't be in that pose. You should come back to the first pose. So notice where you are in space. And if you have your hand interlocked around the back of the thigh, you're really comfy here, this is what you need to get stimulation, then take your right foot and stretch it up towards the ceiling. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Next exhale. If you have your hands interlocked behind your thigh, release them. Step that right foot back on the earth. Keep the left leg in the shape. In fact, keep both legs in the shape. We're going to come into a supine twist. So what we'll end up with is the left foot standing on the floor, the right knee facing the ceiling. The arms can open out to either side. You can bring intensity by turning your head to look down the left arm. It's just a different shape for that hip. The outside of the right leg is completely resting on the floor. Get a little more sensation through your hip. Imagine that you're trying to push your leg away from you. That's the top leg. See what's going on in the hip space as you do this. Recruiting the core, bring yourself back to that central position, unwind your legs and stretch them out along the earth. Maybe taking the arms overhead, stretching out one side and then the other. And bending your knees again, placing your feet on the floor. Take your right ankle and cross it over the left knee, flexing the right foot, encouraging that right knee away from you. Upper body's relaxed. And notice how much sensation there is in this right hip. Each side of our bodies are usually a little different. So if you've got enough going on the side, maybe you just want to focus on breathing and raising and lowering the arms. Maybe you just want to rest here. If you need a little more juice, you can pick up your left foot, interlock the hands behind the thigh, maybe straighten that left leg if you want to include some hamstring work. Keep the right foot, in fact, keep both feet flexed. The right knee still working away from the body. So if your right knee ends up tucked in towards your shoulder or armpit, then the first variation is the better one for you. It takes time for our body to respond, which is why we stay in these poses a little while. They're certainly not yin poses. The legs are quite active. Even the arms and the hands are being quite active, even if the shoulders are as relaxed as we can make them. There's a lot going on energetically with our body. We're not softening into it, we're maintaining muscular involvement. As you next exhale, if you have your left foot off the floor, return it to the earth, relax the arms. And then we're going to come into that supine twist.
So we keep our legs in exactly the same figure 4 shape. We simply revolve 90 degrees to the left so that our right foot ends up standing on the floor. We can increase the intensity by pushing away with the right knee down towards the end of our mat. Arms can open out to the side, or you can take them overhead if you prefer. Find a position for your head that works for you. It can be relatively neutral or more active in the neck. And then the deeper that you breathe, the more you're changing the shape of the internal organs here. Find a breath rhythm that works for you. The breath in here. Prepare your body for movement, recruit the abdominals, and exhale, bring yourself back to center. Unwind the legs, stretch them out. Maybe you want to reach your arms overhead, stretching out from each side of the body. Take a couple of circles with your ankles. And bringing the knees back into the chest. We're going to come up to sitting. So you can either rock yourself forward and back. It's a lovely way of waking up your cells and massaging the spine. Or you can roll to your side first and then make your way up. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Move the flesh of your buttocks out of the way. Use a blanket or some other sort of support under your seat. If you feel more comfortable with a prop, the spine feels like it's going to drop back behind you, then it's a really good idea to take some height under your seat. Bring your right knee in towards your chest and then open that knee out to the side. If that doesn't work for you, you can keep your legs straight and just simply move that leg out of the way. Or you can have it remaining bent up if that's better for you. Find the place that works for your body this morning. Inhale, raise the arms up. As you exhale, start to fold forward. We're not coming to our maximum. We're just allowing the body to fold and then lift back up again. Exhale forward. Exhale forward and inhale. Hands back towards you. Inhale to lift and fold. Exhale, pull the hands back. Continuing to cycle around these Qigong style exercises. We are sending a message to the body of what's to come, letting the body start to acclimatize to a forward fold before we end up actually folding. One more full circle. We'll keep it going for a little bit longer. If you really like that dynamicness of the movement, continue moving. Otherwise, as you next exhale, let yourself begin to release over your leg. Sinking down, sinking in. Soft belly, gently rounded spine. Let the shoulders relax, let the arms be heavy. Use any props that might be appropriate for you here. A blanket or a cushion under the elbows or over the leg. Breathe in here. And as you exhale, slowly begin to lift yourself back up to center. Bring your right knee up. Stretch your right leg along the floor. A couple more circles with your ankles, rolling the shoulders, resetting the body before we go into the other side. And bring the left knee in towards your chest. Open that knee out into half butterfly. If this doesn't work for your hip or your knee, you can have the foot standing up, or you can stretch the leg out to the side. Make sure that you're comfortably positioned on your sits bones. Inhale, lift the chest. As you exhale, fold forward, not too far, circling the arms back, and inhale, raising up. Continue this movement and the circling of the arms. Sending a message to the body that we're going to be forward folding soon. Preparing the hamstrings, preparing the calves. One more full circle here. We'll keep going for longer if you really like the dynamicness of the movement. And then exhale, let yourself begin to sink in, releasing over that right leg, softening, gently rounding front body. Letting the spine move into forward flexion, stimulating the outside of the vertebrae. Inside of the vertebrae getting a little closer together, the outside of the vertebrae extending a little further apart. And towards the last few breaths in this forward fold. As you next inhale, prepare yourself to move. And with the exhalation, begin to lift yourself back upright. Bringing the left knee up, stretching it out. Giving the legs a little shake along the mat. Noticing how it feels in the back of that right leg. Windshield wipering feet in and out. Do whatever it is dynamically that feels good here. Or maybe you want to be static and you just want to sit still. Oh, I love watching the feet go in and out. And then from here, we're going to come into either full shoelace or half shoelace. So I'm turning towards you for this bit. What did we do last time? Yeah, bring your right knee in towards your chest and see if you can take that right foot towards the left hip so that the knees are stacked one on top of the other. If you want to then come into full shoelace, lean back and tuck your left foot towards the right hip. Now, full shoelace isn't for everybody, so you can stay where you were to begin with, or if that's not working for you, you can have the foot inside the leg, either open how we had it before or knee up. So find that place for you that gives you the ability to have some sensation in your hips, but it's the added bonus. We're actually doing some upper body work now. So if you just want to have your legs stretched out in front of you, that's absolutely fine as well. Working from one side to the other, we're going to exhale over, inhale up, exhale over, inhale up. Take your time and notice those places of the body that perhaps don't get that much attention. Is it down by your hip? Is it along your waist? Is it under your arm? What can you feel that feels a little bit like it's in shadow or darkness? A little bit contracted that needs to expand and open. Doing movements like this is really beneficial to our lymph, so vital at this time of COVID-19. We want to have our lymph system active, our immune system geared up for whatever may come. You've finished your second side, whichever that is for you. Back up to upright. Open the arms into cactus and bring the elbows back a little. Try and keep the wrists and elbows in line so we're not tilting ourselves, but taking the arms back behind us, opening through the front of the chest, continuing that stimulation of the lymph and the underarms. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring our arms in front of us, crossing the left arm over the right, twining the forearms, palms together. And then tilting the forearms to the left and tilting the head to the right, right ear to right shoulder. Keep the elbows lifted. We're not dropping the elbows into our chest, but maintaining space. And you'll feel when you lift them that the upper back is being engaged and there's opening and stretching. You might be able to feel those specific muscles of the rhomboids, which exist between the shoulder, the medial border of the shoulder blades and the spine. You might be able to feel a bit of upper trapezius or even the vata coming in. See if you can keep your shoulders soft and away from you. The elbows lift, not the shoulders. Enjoy that stretch into the side of the neck. And As you inhale, bring your head back up, arms back to centre. Open once more through the chest. And then take your hands down behind you. Interlock the hands. Inhale, lift the chest up. And as you exhale, fold forward, lifting the arms away from the spine, keeping the heads of the shoulders tucked in. So we're not trying to bring our tops of our shoulders towards our ears, but keeping space for our neck. And the forward fold might not be very far. Don't feel that you've got to get your head to the floor. You're just bringing some stimulation to those shoulders, compressing the belly, getting the organs to be wrung out, bringing fresh blood supply into our organs. As you next inhale, lifting yourself back up, releasing your hands, giving your shoulders a little roll, forward and backward. And we're going to change sides. Lean back on your hands, unwinding your legs if they are in shoelace. Stretch the legs out, lift the chest. Maybe take the head back. You can keep your legs still, you can circle your feet, maintaining that height in your chest. As you exhale, return to upright sitting. Bring the left knee into your chest. So there's various options here. The leg can stay where it is. You can open it out to the side. If you want to come towards half shoelace, take the left foot towards the right hip. If you want to come into full shoelace, lean back on your hands and tuck the right foot towards the left hip. So they're the options, or anywhere in between. Find that place that works for you. We're going to do a little side body opening as we did on the first side. So exhale across to one side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to the other side. Keep that flow going, working with the rhythm of your own breath. One of the lovely things about doing online yoga is that you're not comparing yourself to others in the room, or having to go at a rhythm that's right for them and not right for you. You can totally shut your eyes, ignore me completely, and just work to a rhythm that's appropriate for your body, for your breath. One more time to each side. And then coming back to center. Open your arms into cactus shape. Take the forearms, the elbows, the wrists, the hands back a little bit. Feel the lift and the openness of the chest. And then as you exhale, we're going to now cross the right elbow over the left. Forearms twined, palms together if you can. You can also hold a thumb, or you can just keep the forearms together in a balanced way. Tilt your forearms to the right, tilt your head to the left, left ear to left shoulder. With a stretch all the way from the outer shoulder up the neck towards the head. Nice, slow, deep breaths here. We're not forcing our head to the side, letting the weight of the head drop it over. Get that sensation of stretching. But only enough, not too much. And as you inhale next, bring your head up, bring your arms perpendicular to the floor, release the arms, opening into cactus arms again. Breathing into the chest. And then exhale, the hands behind the back, interlock them. See if you can do it the other way. So normally I have my right little finger underneath. This time I'm going to change the interlock so the left little finger's underneath. As you inhale, lift the chest up. And as you exhale, start to fold forward. Again, maybe not very far. Perhaps it's hardly a forward fold at all. It's more a lifting the arms back behind you. working towards your body's capability, nobody else's. Nice deep breaths into the belly. As you next inhale, lift yourself back up, release the arms, roll the shoulders. Take your weight back onto your hands, uncross your legs, lift the chest, drop the head back if it's appropriate for you. Bring yourself back around. We're going to come onto our hands and knees. All these next poses that we do can be done on hands and knees. You don't have to go to down dog variation. So you decide what level you're at and what you want to achieve. From hands and knees position, take the knees comfortably under the hips, the hands under the shoulders. Exhale as you round the back, pull the belly up. Inhale as you let the belly drop. Keep going through cat and cow a couple of times. And when you're ready to, if you'd like to, you can come into circling the belly. So once you've come into cow pose, the rib cage goes to one side, then into cat pose, rib cage to the other side, and then back into cow, circling around. You can stick with straight cat and cow. You decide where you would like to be. And at some point when you're ready to, change direction. Begin to circle the other way. Notice if this feels different for your body. Is there something that's not as balanced this direction? Is there an area that needs a little more focus? Yoga is as much about getting to know our bodies as it is about moving them. And coming to stillness, sink yourself back onto your heels, stretching the arms out. We're going to do some side body opening. If you would prefer, do this lying on your belly. You don't have to be in child's pose. As you exhale, walk the hands towards the right hand side. Let your head rest down. Pull back with your left hip, stretch away with your left hand. So it's still quite an active pose. The forearms are off the floor. Our arms are working. Breathe deeply into the rib cage, particularly on the left side. As you next inhale, bring your hands back to center. And then walk them across to the left-hand side. Letting your head rest down. Push away with the right hand, pull back with the right hip. Breathe firmly into the right rib cage. Deep, slow breath. Inhale to bring your hands back to center. And lift yourself back up to tabletop. From here, tuck the toes. And come up into downward dog. As I mentioned before, if down dog's not your thing, stay in tabletop. You can, if you're in tabletop, you can do some more cat and cow. You can extend the leg one at a time back behind you. Bring the feet together if you're in down dog. Inhale, take the right leg back. As you exhale, bring the knee towards the nose, rounding the back. So this can also be done in tabletop. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, knee towards nose. Inhale, extend the right leg. And exhale one last time, bring it in. Exhale to extend. And then release the right foot to the floor. Inhale, the left leg back. Exhale, bring it in towards the nose. Inhale, stretch that leg away. Exhale towards the nose. Reaching the left leg behind you. As you breathe out, bring it in. See if you can squish your nose with your knee. Inhale, stretch away. And exhale, release that knee down to the floor. Take a little bend in your knees. Look towards your hands, and we're going to step our right foot forward between our hands and let the back knee come down towards the earth. Bring your hands onto your knees to lift yourself upright. So it's right leg forward, left knee on the floor. We're going to come into some side bends here. Take your right hand down beside you and reach your left arm up past your ear. And then inhale, bring yourself back up to center. Take your left hand down to the floor so it's somewhat in line with your right foot. And then reach your right arm up, opening your chest to the right. And then exhale, take that hand back to the floor, stepping back either into tabletop or downward dog. If you're in down dog, walk the dog. Let your feet have some mobility, let your ankles and heels move. If you're in tabletop, you might like to return to cat and cow, sway the hips, more rewarding bear style. Have a little bit of fun with whichever pose you're in. And then let your knees soften, look towards your hands, and we're stepping the left foot forward this time. Back knee coming down towards the floor, using your hands to help lift yourself up. Hands resting on the thigh. The left hand's going to come down beside us. It can be a bit of a stretch, so you might almost fall onto that hand, or you can use a block or cushions under it. Reach the right arm up and over past the right ear. And then inhale, bring yourself back upright. Taking the right hand down in line with the left foot. Inhale, raise the left arm back behind us, opening through our chest. And as you exhale, release that hand down, stepping back into tabletop or down dog, making whichever pose you're in be fluid. Feel some movement. We're not trying to be static here. You can let your hips sway, bending one knee at a time if you're in down dog. Feeling the shoulders also getting some stimulation as you transition one heel at a time, bend one knee. And then gently bringing your knees down to the floor. Take your buttocks off to one side and come into wide leg position. Stretching the legs out to either side. Bring your hands down in front of you so that you're a little bit into a forward fold, but the spine is still straight, the front body is still long. And begin to gently sway from side to side. Let the movement flow like seaweed in the sea. Trying to not bring any strain or pressure into this movement. But simply flowing and maybe letting the arms start to flow. And as you feel yourself opening up to this flowing, swaying movement, you might be able to start to turn it into a little more of an opening, swaying from one side to the other, feeling the side body opening and responding as we sway and lift. Or you can stay with that first side, the first swaying motion. Find the place that works for you. If you want to stay a little bit longer, take an extra breath. As you come to one side, then let yourself come forward and around to the other side. Choose where you're going to place your head, but try to keep the head balanced so that you're not tilting your head forward, but keeping it in line with your spine. In this way, we're not putting too much weight on our upper trapezius. You've finished a second side. Let yourself come back to center and start to sink into stillness here. Soft belly, slow breath. Notice the rate of your heart. And watch as your body moves towards a slower pace of the breath, a slower pace of the beating of your heart. And as you next inhale, gently begin to lift your head and your chest. Bringing your knees up one at a time. We're going to come down to lie on our backs. I'll go the other way. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. As you exhale, take that right leg across the body. You can stay here, or if you would like to, you can tuck the toes of your bottom foot under, walk that foot a little bit back to get additional stretch in your quad, and then take hold of your left foot. Sink into the breath. The left hand can be on the outer right knee. You can be in cat pulling its tail, or any variation of supine twist that's comfortable for you. Try and keep the head in a relatively neutral position. The neck soft, the head supported, either on the earth or the blanket. As you next exhale, release the hold on your bottom foot and carefully bring yourself onto your back. You might like to hug the knees into your chest as a little bit of a dynamic rebound between the sides. So rocking from side to side, rolling it out along the spine. And then stretch the right leg away from you. Keep the left knee tucked in. You're going to bring that left knee across the body to the right hand side. You can stay here, or if you'd like to, walk the bottom leg back behind you. That's the right leg. Bending the knee and taking hold of the foot. Cat pulling its tail is an incredible supine twist, probably the hardest of all the supine twists. And it works so many different parts of your body. It's a really powerful pose. You've got stomach stimulation going on in that bottom leg. So the stomach channel runs down the front of the thigh and the front of the shin. We want our stomach to be strong, so that it's got enough yang energy to support our spleen. Our spleen being the yin organ. Yang energy is the energy that allows movement. If we have too much yin and not enough yang, we become very stagnant. We sit on the couch, not very interested in doing anything. You know people that are very yin, possibly. We also know people that are very young, particularly teenage boys. They are constantly moving. They have so much young energy. They are just bouncing from wall to wall. Or little children, 2, 3-year-olds who never sit still. That's their young side, their young energy showing its presence. Deep, slow breaths into your belly. And for the next 2 or 3 breaths, let yourself relax in this pose. If you're holding tightly to your foot or leg, let go a little bit. Allow yourself to ease back from any straining. And when you're ready to release your hold completely, and carefully roll onto your back again, hugging the knees in towards the chest, and rocking a little from side to side here. Massaging out the kidneys, rocking across the spine. If you take your head up and lower your buttocks, you'll get more lumbar spine work. If you take your head back and lift your buttocks up a little, it'll get more into the thoracic spine. When you're ready to, we're going to prepare for Shavasana. It is a cooler day here at Hawke's Bay. So if you'd like to, place a blanket over you, stretch your legs out, rest your arms down beside you. Let the feet fall out to either side of your legs. Let the fingers gently curl into hands. Soften the shoulders, the neck, the head. Allow the whole body to sink down towards the earth.
nothing to do, nowhere to go, just breathe.
Gently release your focus on your breathing. Begin to prepare your body for movement. Starting small, bridging fingers and toes, building up, stretching out arms, and then you feel ready to bending your knees into your chest. And then rolling to your side first, or making your way directly up to sitting. In honour of your practice this morning.
Namaste.